Now, the Rate Yourself Relaxation Technique is exactly as it sounds. It is incredibly useful for relaxing your muscles and brain prior to diving. So the principle of this technique being that when you're on the surface about to dive, there's no real way to gauge how tense you are unless you rate yourself. So this technique involves rating your thoughts, anxiety, muscle tenseness, in the entire body from 1 to 10. So 1 being completely relaxed with a low resting heart rate, 10 being exhausted from finning with a high heart rate and breath rate, and a lot of thinking going on. Now this gives you a great starting point for knowing if you're ready to do a breath hold dive at your full potential. So if you feel that you're at any level above number 1, then you're not ready to dive. So the technique works as follows. I'm on the surface preparing for a dive where I'll be hunting snapper or kingfish on a reef where the structure steps down over ledges, and I may need to continue descending after stopping on the reef, as I've seen a fish a few meters below. Now, obviously, I want to be in the best state of mind before performing this task. So I rate myself out of 10 on the surface. Now, I may feel that after analysis that I'm tensing to hold my body position in a certain way in the water as I float, which is really common. I may feel that some of my muscles in my legs and arms are tense, and I'm thinking too much about any aspect of the dive, including potential fish or bait or whatever I'm looking at. So I may rate myself a 5 at this point and continue normal relaxed breathing through my snorkel, and my goal is to try to exhale out any tension and thoughts with a goal of getting closer to a 1 out of 10. Now, quite a good method is to drop a number on each exhale, or it may take multiple exhales to move down closer to 1, and 1 being the goal. So I breathe as normal, and on every exhale I visualize the tension and thoughts leaving my body, and I feel myself beginning to go limp. And now, hypothetically, I'm at a 3. So I continue to exhale the tenseness and stress until I reach 1, and I feel limp and very relaxed. So as I said, standard breathing, and then just try to exhale out that number. I'm at 4 down to 3, and then you'll sort of work with it and you'll feel it working. If any disruptions arise during the sequence, like fish swimming past or your dive buddy comes over or whatever, that increase the level of tenseness, I'll simply work back towards 1 out of 10. Now I'll note that as you relax, your normal breathing pattern will slow down, and this is a good sign. So once I'm at 1, I exhale fully and I take a full breath before removing my snorkel and diving. So to summarize, I'm breathing normally through my snorkel on the surface, and with each exhale I'm imagining that the tenseness is leaving my body. I'm dropping a level towards 1 each time as this happens. Now, you can try this wherever you are now. Feel free to practice on land, rate yourself out of 10, breathe normally, and on every exhale feel yourself getting closer to 1 on the scale. So yeah, really basic technique. It's almost like sort of beginner meditation, teaches the body how it should feel in the water. So, you know, the more often you get in the water and your body just switches into that relaxed state, then that's awesome, and that's what it's designed to do. And I've found that that technique has really helped me hunt snapper. Just being in that state of mind, you know, and then the fish come into my mind, I get a bit of adrenaline, push them away, you know, get back to 1, because especially when you know there's an area where there could be a good fish, or you might have even got a hint of one, and it may take 5 minutes to chill out. So yeah, that's a real awesome one, so give it a crack. Now I'll explain the pre-descent inhale now. So when it comes to our pre-descent inhalation, so the breath that we take before we dive, what we do is we do our Rate Yourself Relaxation Technique, so we're calm and our heart rate and our breathing rate has slowed down. We don't do any